Okay. About your organization.
As a people, particularly our people, black people, I call all black folks Africans. So as African people, one of our biggest problems is that we're not organized. That's it. If we can organize, just from the money we spend on peppermint balls and chewing gum, we could build universities. Just on bubblegum money. They taking everything.
Yes.
The city, to give you a quick example, I want to be brief, the City Planning Commission, one of the instruments that takes our properties, has a term called blight. And blight means you can move and do what you want to do. Well, all North Philly is under Planning Commission is blighted. All of West Philly is blighted. And they will come wherever there is a lack of organization. There's no citywide organization primarily of black people fighting against this.
There's many slumlords in the city that get away with renting these properties that are probably in worse condition than some of the properties that these homeowners have. It's all because they want that particular property in that area, and those are the ones that they go for.
You're about to view the documentary All for the Taking, 21st Century Urban Renewal Program. And basically it talks about the plight that residents of Philadelphia are dealing with when they're being taken over by their communities. This happened a few years ago, but it's still going on today. You're going to hear two terminologies during the viewing of the documentary: gentrification and eminent domain. Eminent domain basically is a phrase referring to how governmental agencies use their power to acquire private property for public use by just giving what's called just compensation, which is, as you all probably know or know someone, just compensation is not enough. And the key attributes of eminent domain is that these governmental agencies can acquire these properties without the owner's permission. You know, these owners don't want to sell their properties, but because of the eminent domain law, the government is able to take over their properties. Another terminology you'll hear is gentrification, which is a phrase referring to the physical, social, and economical phenomenon where communities, primarily African American and Latino, are taken over and converted into more affluent or middle class or even upper class neighborhoods. And of course, I'm sure you all feel that this is a disgrace, but it's happening every day. And gentrification is a form of genocide and ethnic cleansing.
The next day I came home, there was one in the mail. Now I have to take a look at it, and they're saying that they want my home. My house was already determined who it was going to go to when my papers reached my door. How you have my house and you ain't gave me nothing? But you're telling me you have my home. And at some point, I have to leave here.
This has been my home since 1949. Just trying to make it comfortable for me because I'm 65 years old. I put it in front on my house. I had no idea that I had to move. There's a lot of emotional problems, not problems, but anxiety about having to start all over again somewhere else.
This blight was caused by the city. This was not caused by the residents. This blight is a product of the city basically pushing people out. This was the first block that we learned about was going. None of us could believe it. We found out by accident last September of 2002. This block had activities together, they farmed together, they parked together, they cleaned together. These neighbors did not have any notice that the city was taking their house until after the law was passed to take their house.
When you are getting evicted from your home and you're a person who's 75 years old, that's a crime to be thrown out in the street at the age of 75 after you've given everything you had to a society and all you ask is that you be housed, that you be fed, that you be clothed, that you worked your whole life. And now in this age that you can't be protected, you know, that's a crime.
We're going to begin to get organized to do the kinds of sit-ins into all of these properties that we have to and say we're not leaving until you give these families a good deal. Because they're not like 12